bracelet made with twice the length to be a wrap bracelet. It's made with 4mm round beads. This is the bracelet that we're going to make in the video, and this one's made with round crystals. This one is made with 4mm bicone crystals. And here's some in pastel colors. This one's made with round crystals, round pearls, and bicone crystals, all 4mm. So let's talk about the materials that we're going to need. For this bracelet, you're going to need super duos and 4mm crystals. I have round crystals here, but you could also use bicone, or you could use 4mm round beads or pearls. You're going to need about 28 of them to make about a 6.5-inch bracelet, which would be 7 inches when you include the clasp. So if you want it longer, you just need some more crystals. You're also going to need 11/0 seed beads. They can be check or they can be toho, just any kind of round 11/0 seed bead. You'll also need 2 6 or 8 seed beads to connect the clasp with jump rings. So let's get started. I'm using a size 10 beading needle with a 6-pound fire line. I've got about a yard or a meter of this fire line. And you're going to start with a super duo, an 11/0, a 6 or 8 seed bead, and an 11/0 seed bead. And I'll string that on. Then I'll go back up through those 4 beads to form a loop. And here's where I can tie a knot. So I've got my knot on the bottom here, and I'm going to continue through the super duo. I'll add 2 11/0 seed beads and go down through the other hole. Next, I'm going to put on alternating seed beads and super duos. I'm going to check both holes of the super duos as I put them on the needle. So I've got a seed bead, super duo, seed bead, super duo, seed bead, super duo, seed bead. 4 seed beads and 3 super duos. And I'll string that on. With my thread going up, I'm going to go back up through the super duo, seed bead, super duo, seed bead. And when I pull that tight, it creates a kind of a 4-petal flower there. Next, I add 2 seed beads and go down through the tip of the super duo. Next, I'll add a super duo, checking both holes, and 2 seed beads. I'll string that on. Then I go up through the other hole of that super duo. Pull that tight. Again, I'm going to put on 4 seed beads and 3 superduos, alternating, checking both holes of the superduos. And I'll string that on. Again, I go up through superduo, seed bead, superduo, seed bead. Pull that tight. Add 2 seed beads and go down through the other hole. Next, I'll add a superduo, checking both holes, and 2 seed beads. String that on. And then go up through the other hole of that superduo. Pull that tight. Again, we add seed bead, superduo, seed bead, superduo, seed bead, superduo, seed bead, checking both holes of those 3 superduos. String that on. Go back up through superduo, seed bead, superduo, seed bead. Then we add 2 seed beads and go down through the tip. And we just want to continue this until we reach the other end of the bracelet to your desired length. I am making a 6.5 inch bracelet, 7 with the clasp. So I'm going to make 14 of these components. So I will continue this pattern and show you how to end the row and start the next one. Okay, I'm ready to make my last component. So I've got my superduos and seed beads. I'm going to string those on. Go back up through superduo, seed bead, superduo, seed bead. Add 2 seed beads and go down through the tip. And here I'm at the end of the bracelet, so I'm going to add an 11-0, a 6 or 8 seed bead, and an 11-0. I'm going to string that on. I'm going to flip it over so that my thread is facing up. And I'm going to go back through the superduo and those 3 seed beads. I'm going to flip this over. So now I'm coming out of this seed bead. I'm going to continue through the next 2 seed beads. I'll add 2 seed beads and go through the tip of the superduo. I'm going to add a 4mm crystal, and I'm going to go through the next 2 seed beads. I'm skipping the 3rd. I'm skipping this seed bead in the corner, and so I'm adding 2 more seed beads and going through the tip. Add a 4mm crystal and go through the next 2 seed beads. Again, add 2 seed beads and go through the tip. Add a 4mm crystal and go through the next 2 seed beads. And we just want to continue that all the way to the other end of the bracelet. Then I'll show you how to turn the corner and do the same pattern down the next side. Okay, I've just about reached the other end. I've just put on this crystal, so I'm going to add 2 seed beads coming out of this seed bead and go through the tip. Then I'll add my last crystal, and I want to go through this last seed bead. I want to continue around through the large seed bead and through the next 3 seed beads. So again, I'm skipping that last seed bead in the corner. And I'm going to continue my pattern on this side. Add 2 seed beads, go through the tip, add the 4mm crystal, and go through the next 2 seed beads. Again, add 2 seed beads and go through the tip, add a 4mm crystal, and go through the next 2 seed beads. Add 2 seed beads, go through the next tip, add the 4mm crystal, and go through the next 2 seed beads. So I'll continue that until I'm at the other end of my bracelet. Okay, I'm almost at the end here. I just put on this last crystal, so I'm going to continue to put on 2 seed beads and go through the tip. I'll put on my last crystal and go through this seed bead. Now here is where I want to continue around these seed beads and through the super duo, maybe 1.5 times, and then tie a knot. But before I do that, to finish it off, I'm gonna lay this down and sort of stretch it out to make sure everything is sort of even. All the threads are loose and tight threads are kind of evened out. Okay, so I've gone through this seed bead. I'm going to continue through the large seed bead, through the next small seed bead, through the super duo, again through the small seed bead, through the large seed bead, through the next small seed bead, through the super duo again, and through that small seed bead. Now here's a good place to tie a knot between this small seed bead and the large seed bead. I'll feed my needle through the thread that's between those two seed beads. And then before pulling it all the way, I go through the loop once, through the loop twice, and then pull, create the knot. So now I just need to snip both ends to add the clasp. I have snipped both ends of the thread in this bracelet, so now I can add the clasp by opening the jump ring, feeding it through the large seed bead, adding the clasp, and closing. The other side just needs a jump ring, so we'll open the jump ring, feed it through, and close it. Now we have a working clasp. And this is our finished bracelet.